All the cocaine.
Oh yeah.
That's not even their craziest one. I think it was during. It was either Sabbath Bloody Sabbath or Sabotage. They were in a castle and they thought it was haunted.
Was it haunted or was it the drugs?
Pretty sure it was the drugs. Although, like, the people that tended to the property egged them on and were like, oh, yeah, that's the castle ghost.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, the castle ghost, you know. I think Sabbath Bloody Sabbath was recorded in, like, Ireland or some shit like that, right? The castle.
Clearwater Castle in Gloucestershire. It was in England.
Oh.
That one.
That looks like a cool place to record.
That looks not that haunted as castles go either.
Yeah.
Can't you see this is the wheels of confusion?
The recording was plagued with problems, many due to substance abuse. In the studio, the band regularly had speaker boxes full of cocaine delivered.
I wonder what Snowblind is about.
All right, welcome to Side 1, Side B with Dave and Steve. I'm Steve.
And I'm Dave.
And today,
What are you doing, Dave?
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
we are once again joined by our good friend, Sean.
Yay!
How you
I'm
do-
here again.
I think you're going to be on last week's too if we go in order, but
Well, you know,
Yeah.
we're doing a good album this time, so that's all right.
you're becoming less of a guest and more of a contributor at this point.
Yeah.
Welcome, Sean. How you doing?
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Sweet. I know I'm holding a good album in my hand, but we're gonna trick you and we're gonna listen to Gene
Peter
Simmons.
Chris.
No, we've already done that one. We're gonna do Gene Simmons' Asshole album.
Isn't all albums by Gene Simmons asshole albums?
You would think.
They sound like they came from his asshole, so I mean.
No, actually, today we're gonna be talking about a band that means a lot to me. Dave, what do you think my favorite band is?
Tiny Tim.
Oh, you got it.
That's where I'll be, and tiptoe through the garden with me. Tiny Tim, not here.
Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna guess the Bay City Rollers, but you know.
Yeah.
Throwback to the last episode.
Being molested by Black Sabbath and
and
Black Flag.
Black Flag and Black Sabbath.
Well, I think we've gotten around to who this episode is about, unless you just read the
Tiny
description
Tim.
too. Yes.
Well, let's think all the way back to our first episode on Black Sabbath. Today we're going to be taking a look at a different lineup of Black Sabbath,
The original.
the original lineup that most people are probably familiar with.
In love.
Yeah, unless you're a Dio-phile, but you know, in that case, I
Go
don't know.
fuck yourself.
I don't, no.
No.
I just don't know how you'd be able to listen to Dio Sabbath and not know about Ozzy Sabbath, but you know, it's possible.
It's definitely possible. There's definitely someone.
Now, today we're taking a look at one of the original first 6 albums, since everybody pretty universally agrees that the first 6 are like the best Black Sabbath's ever produced.
The Imperial era.
Yeah. Then they got weird, and then they got Dio.
Dio.
The Mark Mothersbaugh era of Sabbath.
And then they got that other guy.
So today we're looking at what I I don't know if I'd call it my favorite Black Sabbath album because I don't know if I could pick one. It's like picking your children, right? But I did pick the
My
one.
mom picked favorites, and it wasn't me. So. Sorry.
Well, you must have been technical ecstasy then. But I did pick the one with my favorite Sabbath song on it, Under the Sun. Today we're looking at Black Sabbath Volume 4. You guys have both heard this album before. What do you guys think of it? I know it's been a while for both of you, I think.
I like it. I don't think it's my favorite from the Imperial era, but it's good. I know I like Snowblind for sure.
From what I remember, I really like this album. I honestly probably haven't listened to it since high school, and high school was in, and but yeah, I remember it was in that really good era because I was going through a Black Sabbath phase where I was listening to all their albums. So.
Nice. Yeah, for me, this one was a slow burner for me. For a long time, it was my least favorite out of the first 6. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's you look at the track listing and it's got Changes was a big hit, but besides that, it doesn't really have an Iron Man. It doesn't have a Paranoid or a War Pigs. So I think, at least for me, it kind of fell between the cracks for me, and it wasn't really until later that I kind of went, wow, that album is really fucking good. So, it's hard for me to pick between this one, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Sabotage.
Can't stand it. I know you planned it.
So we just kind of arrived at default at this one. Thought about picking like a live album, but
I actually think the reason that this wasn't the popular album is because the name sucks.
The name does suck. Volume 4.
You got Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Masters of Reality, Volume 4.
yeah.
Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Sabotage, Technical Ecstasy. So it's kind of a boring name. And I was reading that it was originally going to be called Snowblind, but the record company said no.
Yeah, they did that with Paranoid too. It was originally supposed to be called War Pigs.
Oh, War Pigs is not a drug reference though. But yeah,
which is what I knew. I actually knew that, and it was because that's why the guy's dressed in armor.
Yeah, he's a war pig.
He's a war pig, and it just looks kind of weird. Why is this called Paranoid?
You're paranoid about the guy dressed in armor stabbing you.
I guess.
Besides a few, Black Sabbath, I don't think I've ever been great at covers. And it's not their fault. They were very much under the thumb of their record company at this time, and also under the thumb of their manager, Patrick Meehan. He is definitely a businessman. He did a great job getting himself onto all of the songwriting credits, making himself the owner of the tapes, and making tons of money off of Black Sabbath while they didn't make anything off their first 5 albums. To this day, his family is still living off the money from Black Sabbath. You can even find his son's Instagram account, and it's just him taking vacations all the time. And it's Sabbath are rich now, but they weren't when this guy was their manager.
Actually, the reason they got rich, they figured all that out, what you're talking about, is when Ozzy left, he found out that he didn't own anything.
Yeah.
And so actually them kicking Ozzy out actually helped them financially in the long run.
Yeah, and I think that's still the case to this day, that they don't make anything off the first 5 albums.
If they don't make anything off of, they made their fair share of money off the first 5 albums, though, would we have the cultural juggernaut that is the Osbournes? Because Ozzy wouldn't have needed to debase himself for that paycheck if he owned the first 5 records.
Well, I guarantee you that Ozzy made plenty of money off of his solo career since he was boinking the manager. So.
Yeah.
maybe if Tony Iommi slept with Patrick Meehan, maybe they would have arranged a deal. But
yeah, take one for the team, Tony.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, when I was reading through their autobiographies, it's sounded like they were basically living on credit. Like anytime they wanted something, they would just call Patrick Meehan and be like, "I want a Rolls Royce," and he'd be like, "All right," so he'd like send him one. But they wouldn't actually own the Rolls Royce, so when they would, I don't know if they'd go to sell it or something, they'd find out it wasn't actually theirs. Same with all their houses. So yeah, that guy was a real motherfucker.
And that is the future that all of our tech oligarchs want for all of us now.
I mean, we're already there.
Yeah.
I mean, George Carlin was saying it back in the 90s. They own you. They own everything.
Well, I actually saw like an interview with someone that I don't know who she was, but I'm assuming she had a hit or something like that. And she was talking about when she goes touring now, like it's almost like it's a financial hit for her. Like she always comes back like 50 grand in the hole.
Yeah.
So it's like touring used to be a musician's bread and butter.
Right.
And now it's not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even back then, when Sabbath was being taken advantage of, they at least had the good sense to wow them with bread and circuses, and by bread and circuses I mean cocaine.
Cocaine and Rolls Royces.
Yeah, cocaine and Rolls Royces.
Well, that's probably why they were so ignorant to their financial situations, because he just kept them high all the time.
Yeah.
Nowadays, and we could say this as people that have worked in the local industry a bit. Nowadays, you're lucky to get a punch in the stomach and a free beer. So I mean,
Yeah.
these days you have to pay for the beer. So
We got drink tickets sometimes.
Sometimes.
occasionally. Otherwise, I think a lot of local bar owners are coming up with all sorts of new and exciting ways to pilfer money out of the local artists. But that's neither here nor there. Today we're talking about Black Sabbath.
Volume 4.
Volume 4. So
Does it have Black Sabbath, the song by the band Black Sabbath? On the wait, no.
No, that's the first, that's the
I know.
first album.
they have the song Black Sabbath Volume 4 on here, though. It's weird. Speaking of Patrick Meehan, he's credited on production. He didn't fucking produce it.
Well, yeah, that's what they're
Yeah.
saying. Like he made himself be credited, even though he didn't do shit.
Yeah. Well, then that's kind of the fact that that's always been going on, though, is kind of like some pretty big pushback when people complain about, like how many writers are on, for example, a Beyonce song. No, there are not that many writers. There's just a bunch of random like producers and management types who are calling themselves writers to get the royalty cut.
Well, it's like if you ever want to look up like a sad fucking story, look up Frankie Lyman, because he died at a young age. He had like 3 wives fighting over his estate, and then when the estate was finally settled, the wife got like $5,000, and he had like tons of hits back in the 50s.
Yeah.
Why do birds fall in love? I think there's a movie about it, and it's pretty accurate of what happened.
Yeah, the music industry is an industry, and the industries are typically very good at figuring out ways to fuck the people that work in them over.
There's the people who make things and the people who own things.
Yeah, like back in the 50s, the artists used to not own their songs. Like it was the record company, so like that's why they were able to make tons of money off of their songs, but not the artists themselves.
Yeah. Says here and before we go on, I just want to credit, I think it's the channel Trash Theory did a great documentary about, I think it was the production of Sabotage, where he talked a lot about Patrick Meehan. So when you're done listening to us, I definitely recommend checking that out, along with some of their other videos.
Check out that entire channel.
Yeah.
There's, relevant to today's topic, there's like a long history of how metal became metal, like all of the steps that rock and roll had to go through before like Sabbath became a thing.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
Yeah, and the stuff that they do is really professionally produced. And I knew about Patrick Meehan based on their documentaries, but he did a great job like digging some stuff up that even I didn't know, and I know a lot about Sabbath lore.
Yeah.
And another fun fact, heavy metal was not, the name heavy metal for a music genre wasn't created by Black Sabbath. It was created by Steppenwolf.
Yeah. And I think that even came from something like a reviewer said, "Oh, it sounds like a bunch of heavy metal clanging together." But I forget what it was in reference to.
And then there was
it might have been a different
Steppenwolf
song.
the Steppenwolf song, he says heavy metal thunder, born to be wild.
because that was before industrial became a thing, where the percussion was actually metal clanging against metal,
I think,
and then sampled on a computer.
I think if you're to pick the first heavy metal band, like that was like a pure heavy metal band, I think Black Sabbath probably fits the bill. Although, I mean, a lot of blues guys like them too. They're very bluesy. So
wasn't there a band that was around the same time that I heard this somewhere? There was a band that was kind of doing almost the same thing, but they didn't get as popular as Black Sabbath.
there was. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I think it was
the
like
name of
Wizard or something like that, but I could be wrong. I can't remember.
I think I know what you're talking about.
There was another,
and they were a rival to Black Sabbath.
there was another band that was a rival to Black Sabbath that had a song called Black Sabbath. Coincidentally, like, you know, it was all in the water at the same time, and of course, a professional rivalry is going to. What was the, I'm gonna look this up real quick. I think it was the band that did.
Well, while you're looking that up,
Yeah.
Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin always got compared to one another.
John Bonham was Tony Iommi's best man at his wedding.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin said they were getting compared to Black Sabbath until Zeppelin 4 came out. And then they're like, after Stairway to Heaven, no one compared us anymore.
Yeah, there's apparently they had a jam session where it was like the rest of Black Sabbath and John Bonham on drums, and they were playing Supernaut. And I guess like every time he would complete one of the verses or whatever, like John Bonham would just excitedly yell Supernaut. And I guess one of them was talking about how Bill Ward had a double bass that they wouldn't let him use like in the studio, but he used it live for like solos and stuff, and he was just like going away on the double bass, and they were saying like it sounded like a modern metal band. Like, and yeah, I can see John Bonham being able to do modern metal.
Coven was the band I'm thinking of. They had a song called Black Sabbath.
Yeah, Coven. That's right.
Good Times, Bad Times by Led Zeppelin. People thought he was using a double bass, but that was actually his foot was so fast he could do like almost a double bass. Like, it sounds really great.
Yeah. See, it says here the recording was plagued with problems, mainly due to substance abuse. That the album was snowblind on it, really? In the studio, the band regularly had speaker boxes full of cocaine delivered. And so while Patrick Meehan was ripping him off, at least he had the good sense to send them cocaine.
I don't know. Have you read Brave New World?
A long time ago, yeah.
You give them the drugs so they don't pay attention to how you're screwing them over.
Well, and I've read all of their autobiographies.
I loved Ozzy's. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I get the impression that Geezer was the smart one, and Tony and Ozzy were just kind of they went along with whatever their managers told them, because I think they couldn't envision not being like subservient, I guess. Maybe that's
They didn't understand the business end, and they were glad someone was doing it for them, and they didn't catch that someone was screwing them.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way. In his autobiography, I Am Ozzy, Ozzy speaks at length about the sessions. In spite of all the arising around, musically, those few weeks in Bel Air were the strongest we've seen, but he admits, eventually, we started to wonder where the fuck all the coke was coming from.
Columbia.
That coke was the whitest, purest, strongest stuff you could ever imagine. One sniff, and you were king of the universe. During a show in support of Volume 4 at the Hollywood Bowl, the cocaine abuse caught up to Iommi. Tony had been doing coke literally for days. We all had, but Tony had gone over the edge. He walked off the stage and collapsed.
You probably hadn't slept in all those days.
Yeah. During sound check earlier that same day, A crazed Christian man attempt to storm the stage and stab Iommi with a dagger.
Holy shit.
But he was tackled by cruise members. According to Butler, we wanted to take a break at that point.
Surprised the band lasted after that.
Yeah, they've had a long history of some crazy people doing some stuff like that. One of my favorite stories, and I think this was off the tour for the first album, is they were just getting off stage and they were trying to get in their dressing room, and there was like a bunch of witches just having a seance in front of their dressing room, and of course they were just like, we just got off stage, get the fuck out of our way. So they forced their way past him, and then they opened the door, blew out the witches' candles, and then started singing "Happy Birthday." And yeah, the Sabbath autobiographies are full of fun stories like that.
My favorite was the one where Ozzy got the vicar high.
Yeah. Oh, that's great with the hash cake.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
And he thought he killed him, so they just dumped him on his porch.
And he came to like 3 days later or something like that.
How much hash was in that cake?
Like a lot. Like he put a ton of hash in the cake.
He even wrote on the cake, "Do not eat."
Yeah, because he wasn't in the house, so his wife served it to the vicar while he was out, and then he like came home and saw the vicar eating the cake and was like, "Oh fuck." Volume 4 saw Black Sabbath expand beyond the heavy sound that they've become known for. In June 2013, Mojo declared, "If booze and dope had helped fuel Sabbath's earlier albums, Volume 4 is their cocaine. Despite their spiraling addictions, musically, Volume 4 is another ambitious outing. The band's heavy side remains intact on the likes of Tomorrow's Dreams, Cornucopia, and the Seismic Supernaut. But the guitar intro on St. Vitus's Dance possesses a jaunty, Led Zeppelin-flavored quality, while Laguna Sunrise is an evocative, neoclassical Iommi instrumental." Let's talk about some of the reviews here. Rock critic Lester Bangs, who had derided the band's earlier albums, applauded Volume 4, writing in Cream, "We have seen the Stooges take on the night ferociously and go tumbling into the maw, and Alice Cooper is currently exploiting it for all it's worth, turning it into a circus, but there's only one band that's dealt with it honestly on terms meaningful to the vast portions of the audience, not only grappling with it in a mythical structure that's both personal and powerful, but actually managing to prosper as well, and that band is Black Sabbath." Which is pretty nice words, because he had some really bad things to say about them early on.
Yeah.
That dude's name is hilarious.
Lester Bangs.
Lester Bangs.
It sounds like somebody in Kiss's name to me.
I do enjoy his writing.
I'm a dentist.
I really do enjoy Lester Bangs' writing. I don't always agree with it, but he was a really good like rock journalist, and you can get a lot of fun reading his stuff.
Yeah. Kerrang! Magazine listed the album at number 48 among 100 greatest heavy metal albums of all time. Rolling Stone ranked it 14th on their 2017 list of 100 greatest metals albums of all time. And yeah, let's move on to the artwork. Here you go, Sean.
Well, the artwork is kind of minimalist.
It's just a picture of Ozzy.
It's just a picture of Ozzy like doing peace signs and at a singing, and he's like, "Oh!" And it's literally the same. So it's the Black Sabbath Volume 4 is written in white, and Ozzy is in gold in a black background on the front, and on the back, Ozzy's in white, and the Black Sabbath Volume 4 is in gold.
So much variation.
Oh my God. It's ingenious.
It's not their worst album cover either, though.
Yeah. I mean,
It's good use of color.
yeah. It's just kind of plain.
Yeah, and then just doing the same thing twice was lazy for the front and back.
And then the inside is the bands that were not, the band members that was not featured on. They don't even have a picture of the drummer.
They don't. They don't have a picture of Bill Ward. Wow.
Yeah, they just have a picture of two pictures of Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler.
Well,
they don't even. They have a picture of the drum set behind Geezer.
Wasn't the
But they
time?
don't have a picture of the fucking drummer.
Wasn't the
Bill
time?
Ward a long tradition of being fucked over by.
Yeah, like the time you saw their big anniversary tour that was supposed to be making a big deal out of the original lineup being back. Didn't they leave Bill Ward out of it?
Yeah, they did, and I'm still not certain if he got fucked over or if he wasn't actually up for it and the rest of the band recognized it and he didn't. He's since come around and said, I don't think I could have played those shows on second thought, so I tend to think otherwise, but I also don't think Sharon Osbourne is a nice person, so I could easily see that being revisionist and he just wants to be friends with the band again. But yeah, unfortunately, Bill Ward, one of my favorite drummers, my biggest drum influence myself, is unfortunately was left out of the reunion tour, and has been left out of various other Black Sabbath things. I really wish he would have been on the 13 album, for instance, but alas, no.
So, do you want me to read all the members involved, the people involved?
Please go ahead.
Okay. So, all arrangements by Black Sabbath, produced by Patrick Meehan, bullshit, and Black Sabbath. Engineer Colin Caldworth and Vic Smith. Recorded at Record Plant, Los Angeles. An Excellency production. Cover design by Bloomsbury Group. Of course, it was a fucking group. It wasn't a person. Photography by Keith McMillan. And it says, we wish to thank the great Coca-Cola. The Coke is in capital letter, so yeah, they wish to thank Coke and the company of Los Angeles.
Clearly, they are drinking a lot of soda during the making of this album.
Mm-hmm. Tipper Gore would not be happy.
No. The album was originally going to be titled Snowblind in reference to the song. However, the record label thought it was too edgy and retitled the album Volume 4 and changed the artwork while the band was on vacation. So, explains why it's a little underwhelming.
I wonder what the original artwork was like.
Yeah, they don't have it here, so maybe that's never leaked.
Lines of cocaine.
Well, I mean, Masters of Reality is just Black Sabbath with Masters of Reality written on the cover. So, yeah, their cover art is not the best. Sabbath Black Sabbath's pretty good, though.
That's probably their best one, yeah.
That was a lot of tangents.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got to say before we put it on. Let's talk about the songs that we're going to go into here. As I kind of mentioned before, there isn't really like a Paranoid or a War Pigs or anything like that on that album. Changes, I think, was the biggest hit off of this. Supernaut, I think, is like a fan favorite, but it's not like I think if you played Supernaut on the classic rock station, a lot of people probably wouldn't recognize it. But we got 5 songs. We got Wheels of Confusion, Tomorrow's Dream, Changes, Effects, which isn't really a song, but we'll get into that after we listen to it, and Supernaut. So, yeah, let's throw this on and have a good time.
Fucking ready.
Slayer! I'll get the Coca-Cola out.
Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Coca-Cola.
Enjoy cocaine.
Do you want me to say that?
God damn it, Ozzy.
God damn it, that wasn't terrible. That was terrible.
That song ain't right.
That ain't right. That
I
ain't
guess
right,
maybe that's probably more Tony's fault than Ozzy's.
Fucking Tony.
Well, we'll talk about it when we get there. But welcome back from side 1 of Volume
Terrible.
4. What'd you guys think?
Kicked ass, except for one song.
Yeah. That was terrible.
But the other
Quote
3
unquote
made,
song.
yeah,
Not a real song.
the other 4 made up for it.
Yeah.
This is a great album, classic album. I think it probably needs to be esteemed a little higher in the pecking order of the original run of 6, maybe after sitting down and listening to it like really critically.
Yeah.
You know, I think I remember, like I said, I haven't listened to it since high school, and I think I remember liking this one better than Masters of Reality. And this is kind of because I remember a few songs on Masters of Reality, like Sweet Leaf and stuff like that. But yeah, I think this one hits a little bit harder than Masters of Reality.
Well, and it was really the first in their, what I kind of called the progressive era, when they started to broaden their horizons a bit more when it came to songwriting. Because, the first two were pretty simple, like heavy rock. And, what I loved about those is, the first two albums is, when I was a 16, 17-year-old looking to play guitar, they were great albums to follow along to. But, you can tell that both Iommi and Ozzy grew as guitarists and vocalists quite a bit by the time they got to this album.
Yeah, and it's like a year later.
Yeah. Yeah, they really stepped up their game, I think, starting with Master Reality, and then they just had 4 fantastic ones in a row, including this one.
This feels like they're taking some of the ways they were starting to grow with Master of Reality and just embracing it with a lot more confidence.
Yeah.
So I think it's a better album.
Well, and that's one thing I said while we were listening to it, is you could tell Iommi has a lot more confidence in his soloing than he does on the first two. Not that he was a bad soloist on the first two, but, he was definitely not as acrobatic as he was on this one. I mean, Wheels of Confusion was pretty much just a solo after a certain point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. All great except for one track. And
we are going to tear that one a new asshole when we get to it.
But yeah, let's start with Wheels of Confusion. I think it's a great opener. The guitar lick is really tasty. It's got just a great blues sound. It does seem a little long, but it's kind of broken into different parts. So I think that kind of makes it okay.
And it doesn't sit on one part too long, so it doesn't get boring. You're always following it.
Yeah, I mean, Black Sabbath was kind of good at doing separate parts, making it sound like a coherent song together. I thought it was like you said, the opening blues riff was pretty spectacular.
Yeah. And the tone on it was just so good.
Oh yeah, that was killer tone.
Yeah.
It was fuzzy, but you could make out the notes.
Yeah.
I wonder what he gets, because he couldn't have only used the SG there. It sounded like a different type of guitar.
It wouldn't surprise me. I think, I don't remember if during this period he had a different SG that was called a Les Paul, back before they'd called it the SG.
Yeah.
I know he had one of the custom models. It could have been that one. I don't remember when it got stolen. Because in the sleeve he's using his SG Monkey, the SG Junior, is heavily modified one. But that didn't sound like that guitar.
No, it sounded very clean.
Yeah. He's been known to use Les Pauls in the studio. That could have been a Les Paul.
It sounded like a Les Paul. It sounded like this one sounded kind of Zeppelin-esque.
Yeah.
And part of that was at the end, one part that I really loved, where there's that extended solo, but in the background there's an acoustic part that was English folk, which is probably what made me think of Zeppelin the most. But yeah,
I thought it was kind of in that one breakdown sounded kind of prog rock.
Oh yeah, they were really leaning into prog rock by the time they got to the next couple albums. So it's really the genesis of it was on this album, I'd say. Yeah, do you guys have anything else to say about Wheels of Confusion?
No, it was great. And I think it justified its 8-minute length.
Yeah.
Which you can't always say that about an 8-minute long song.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this on every song, I think, except for the one that Ozzy didn't sing on, which is the song that sucks anyway. But yeah, it's really amazing how much he grew as a vocalist in a year.
Oh yeah.
This is good. He's not just following the guitar line like he did on the first 2 albums a lot, and he's able to express a dynamic range of emotions with it, and really good with inflecting at different points. Yeah, top-notch vocals. I think this is the best his vocals ever were and ever would be.
I like his vocals on Sabbath Bloody Sabbath a lot. That's a good album.
What's funny is I remember reading an interview a long time ago from somebody that they were either an opera teacher or an opera singer or somebody like that, and they were playing them 6 different heavy metal singers. So they played them Jeff Tate and Rob Halford, and of course they were very impressive. I'd like to get a hold of them to teach them better technique, but they're very impressive. Then they got to Ozzy and they're like, what'd you think of? I think they played them Paranoid, and she's like, did he have a career after this?
Yeah.
Next one, Tomorrow's Dream. That one's a freaking headbanger. I remember them playing that one live when I saw them on their last tour in 2016. I was getting up and like stomping my feet to it. Not their heaviest song, but definitely a great rocker.
Yeah, well, like doing like a straightforward kind of up-tempo, like straightforward headbanger.
It was a good song.
It's a good place to put it too. After doing like a long experimental piece, just like it does kind of the same thing on like it's the same general flow of things as Paranoid, where you start with War Pigs, then do Paranoid, then you go into Paranoid. So like then like more of the headbanger song after the longer, more experimental piece that changes a lot.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. And then Changes, the ballad.
Changes. Okay, it was in the spirit of like hunky dory era Bowie with like the piano and mellotron and like kind of the slow down folky balladness to it. It was a good song. I liked it. It's better than other attempts on the earlier records that Sabbath have had to like slow down. It was just a really, really cool song. I liked the lyrics.
And I'll say what I said while we were listening to it. When I first heard that song, I actually thought it was a Ozzy solo song. I didn't realize it was actually Black Sabbath.
I could see that because Ozzy's solo career, I think, is more pop-oriented than rock-oriented.
Yeah. So I remember when I found out it was actually on a Black Sabbath album, I was like, oh... It was surprising. I was just like, whoa, okay.
The mellotron sounds really good on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like in the same vein of like, Mama, I'm coming home.
Yeah. And I like, like the thing that makes mellotron great as an instrument is that you get that weird tape hiss underneath it that makes it kind of disquieting. So it does sound like a string section because a string section was recorded for the tapes on the mellotron, but it has, this kind of like lo-fi edge to it underneath it, which is funny that it became like an instrument so associated with prog because it is a janky instrument that falls apart and can be hard to do the technical stuff with because of just how finicky it is.
Honestly, it's just a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Says here the lyrics to that one were mainly inspired by Bill Ward's breakup with his first wife. Unusual for a Black Sabbath song. No guitar, no drums, no bass. Oh, no, there is bass. Okay.
I was going to say, I heard bass.
Yeah, so there is bass. It sounds like...
it was minimal.
Yeah. It sounds like Iommi and Butler were probably sitting side by side doing the mellotron. The piano was composed by Iommi, and he was just experimenting with it, and they turned it into a song, and I think it's one of their better known ones. So that was an experiment that worked out, didn't it?
And Bill Ward was taking a nap.
Yeah.
Well, it was about his own marriage falling apart. So just, take a nap. Was there any kind of percussion or anything that he was doing on that?
No.
he's
It was
not credited
Geezer
at all.
Butler, right?
Yeah, he just sat it out.
Yeah.
No, Geezer
So it was about his first wife, but he wasn't on it. So.
Oh, it was Bill Ward that wrote it?
No, it was just inspired by his first breakup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Of course, I think everybody was freaking out because in 1972, Ozzy had an interview and it said, "We're certainly not going to get any less heavy." Well, that doesn't quite sound like Ozzy. "We're certainly not going to get any less heavy." Okay, no voice. "We're certainly not going to get any less heavy. We will probably do changes on stage with a mellotron, but we'll never take strings on stage with us or anything like that." I wonder if they did take the mellotron around. They definitely had the money to do it.
Ozzy mumbles. So, we're certainly not going to get any heavy. Well, just probably take the mellotron on stage.
Oh, Sharon! Spill the orange juice.
Oh, the fucking doggers. That's Ozzy.
Yeah. So, while Changes was an experiment that was successful, let's talk about one that wasn't. Effects.
Oh,
FX,
shit. Son.
I like noise music. There's a lot of good noise music. There's a lot of good times when like a non-noise band will do a noise track like several songs into an album, and it works really well. This was not that.
Nope.
This was just
was bullshit.
shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing. It was nothing. It was literally nothing.
There was really nothing to
They
it.
could have just had like a minute and 44 seconds of silence, and that probably would have been better.
Yeah, that was probably one of their cocaine decisions. It says here Iommi just thought it was a big joke. So
It's one of
So
their
did the
cocaine
audience.
decisions, so it's like the preteen orgy from the novel It.
yeah, basically what it was is it was
The co-writer was cocaine of that novel.
Yeah.
all it was is Iommi was tapping his like cross pendant on his pickups, and then they added echo and post.
See, and that's something they could have like added.
I think that
They could have put that underneath the guitar solo in one of the other songs, so it sounded cool.
Yeah.
But this is just like that was it. Yeah,
It was boring.
yeah.
The idea had potential, but they didn't do anything with it.
They needed to flesh it out if they were going to do that.
Yeah.
How does a 1 minute and 44 second song sound like a 5 minute song?
Yeah, it dragged. It dragged. Like, and the 8-minute song did not drag like that.
What's funny is there's a guy that went around all like the band subreddits, and he was going around just doing like a poll of everybody asking, what's the band's worst songs? And usually it'd be like an actual song, but of course Black Sabbath fans picked Effects as their worst song.
And they were right.
And it is, but that's cheating. Like, come on, guys, you should have picked an actual song for the worst song playlist.
There are some stinkers in like their later career too that they could have also.
Well,
picked.
I
Yeah.
think every band's later career kind of has some ups and downs.
Yeah.
Kind of name a group that didn't have like some shit later on in their later albums when they had like masterful like first albums.
Sonic Youth.
Okay, Sonic Youth had shit all the time. No.
Disagree. Their later albums were good. The shit was their marriage falling apart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not everyone can be a zinger, and FX was not a zinger.
Dude, did you see they did like a Nirvana reunion and what's Kim Gordon?
Yeah.
She came in and did School. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see like the members of Nirvana and Kim Gordon go on a tour because she embodies Kurt Cobain.
She looks like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw her do Aneurysm too. She did Aneurysm when they did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction,
Yeah.
and she killed it, man. So I would love them to like recruit her to do like a tour or something. I would go see that.
Yeah. Her last 2 solo records since the divorce have been pretty good. But yeah.
I'll check that out because I've been meaning to check out that set.
Yeah, it's like 3 songs or 4 songs. Like Joan Jett does. God, which one did she do? I can't remember which one she did, but like this one, the first woman did Breed, and then Kim Gordon did School. Joan Jett did a song, and then Dave Grohl's daughter did All Apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is a good mix of songs too. It's not just the hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even do Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I think the band grew to hate Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That song probably has overstayed its welcome in their heads by now.
It's a great song and it stands out, but I do think it's funny that they started shitting on it by saying it was just more than a feeling.
Well, yeah, they used to fuck around and like play More Than a Feeling intro to before they started playing
Yeah.
it. They'd be like, and then like Chris Novoselic would be like, "What did I feel?"
All right, and then closing it out strong was Supernaut.
Yeah, that was my favorite
fuck,
track
yeah.
so far. Yeah.
That was so good.
Part of it was the Stockholm syndrome from listening to a minute and a half of nothing. But yeah, it was great. It was
I think if we skipped FX, it would still be a kick-ass song.
yeah, I think it would have flowed well from Changes too. Yeah.
Oh, it's one of their best, I'd say.
Yeah, it was. I loved how aggressive and continual the drums were. Like, just the way Bill Ward was hammering on that crash for parts of it
yeah.
was like I'm surprised he didn't break his crash playing that. Maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Yeah.
He probably did.
Well, and I remember they were describing. I think it was Iommi was describing John Bonham playing it with the double bass in there, and while I was sitting here, I could hear where the double bass would fit, and it kind of does sound like a more modern metal song. I think in a lot of ways in its composition and its groove, and. Just another example of Sabbath being pioneers.
I do want to mention I loved the fucking bass in that one.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good.
The little walks it did,
Yeah, like
the little accenting parts that he does, and just little things. That's why he's probably my favorite bass player.
He was a finger bass player too, so like he was playing that heavy with like
Yeah.
I bet he could light his fingers on fire and wouldn't notice. Yeah.
Especially during this period.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, because I've tried doing finger picking on a bass. Like, well, I can do it, but like, I remember getting like huge welts on my fingers because I hadn't done it enough.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I got a bass guitar after being like a guitar player for like 10 years. It felt like it enlarged, and I felt tiny. It was weird.
Yeah.
And it also felt like great finger exercise for when I went back to regular guitar, because then I felt like, I don't know, like Mario taking a mushroom and growing really big and then getting small again.
I always thought it was because like I used to play bass in Gong Farmer when I would play Gong Farmer, and then all of a sudden I'd do a song where I'd play guitar for it. And it just felt really weird doing that shift from bass to guitar.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like the strings are smaller and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
it's kind of weird. But it's not, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. I think probably what we should have done for when you were in Gong Farmer is get you like a Fender Bass 6 and just have that be your only instrument. But hey, with what money?
Yeah. I probably could have got one. Because I remember looking at them because I thought they were cool. Anyways, we can cut that part out.
Yeah.
So yeah, what'd you guys think of Patrick Meehan's production?
It was great.
Yeah. I thought it was a well-produced album. Like I thought it captured the spirit of the band and what they were going for. I don't know how much Patrick Meehan had to do with that.
Oh, his additions to the production were amazing.
Yeah.
Do you think Patrick Meehan sat down, listened to effects, and went, God, you guys have fucking knocked it out of the park here? He probably didn't even listen to the goddamn thing until it was out.
Yeah, no, like, and then like sometimes there'd be like these little, little guitar feedback overdubs in the background of some of the solos, which were really cool. I bet that was all Iommi. I don't think that was like Meehan's input at all.
I think that like if you were listening to this as a guitarist, this is a guitarist produced album.
Yeah.
That like you were saying with his solos and stuff, because like the solos sound really clean and up front when they're going on and stuff. So, and like the feedback, I think you can tell this was like a guitar produced album.
And I remember reading about the production of the Live Evil album, the live album they did with Dio, and the story was like Dio and their drummer would work during the day, and Iommi and Geezer would work at night, because they had hangovers and didn't get up until the afternoon. And the story goes like Iommi would go in the studio and mix up the guitar and the bass up really loud, and then Dio would come in the morning and then mix up his vocals and the drums louder, and it was kind of a war that just ended with him quitting the band. So probably something to that. Iommi's definitely the type that would probably prioritize his guitar rather than trying to balance everything out, I'd say.
But I would say it was actually a pretty balanced sounding song. I'm just saying, like, because sometimes I felt like the guitars in the first albums were a little buried. At times.
First album, they had 6 days to make it.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
It's a miracle that album exists.
Well, you know what, though? The first album was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's very raw.
Yeah, I love it. I love all their albums. But
I think I like the first album more than Paranoid, but Paranoid's just kind of overplayed. Might be the problem. I think Paranoid might actually be the better record.
probably,
So,
yeah.
They're-
But I've
they're-
just heard it so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's some
never
so-
put it on its own anymore.
Yeah, there's some songs on Paranoid that I like better than because I've heard the other songs so much. I like better listening to them better than the actual like hits. Like I love Rat Salad.
Yeah, Rat Salad's great.
So
Yeah.
great. Fairies Wear Boots, just because like that's not one of the popular songs.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Planet Caravan sucks. I don't like that song.
Yeah, Planet
I
Caravan.
never liked that
Yeah.
song.
It's
Very boring.
it's just is plopped right down there and kills the momentum. Yeah.
And then yeah, like Rat Salad and then Fairies Wear Boots is like kind of my, if I'm gonna listen to something on that album, it's those two.
Of the big hits on that album, my favorite is War Pigs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
War Pigs. I mean, that's kind of
Well, the lyrics are still applicable.
yeah.
But yeah, we're not talking about Paranoid. We're talking about Volume 4.
which is a great album.
It is.
It's time for side 2.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. And we're back from side 2. What'd you guys think?
It was good. Good
Good.
album as a whole. Yeah,
Good,
I think my
yeah.
favorite.
Are we recording?
Yes.
It doesn't look like it.
Oh no, he just zoomed out a lot. You'll see.
Oh.
Yeah,
You fucked me up, man.
he did that to me last time. That's how I knew.
Motherfucker! Sorry. Okay, anyways, fantastic album.
Yeah, this one. This one, despite not having a song that I hated, like the first one, felt less cohesive as like an album side that flowed than the first one. But it was still fucking great. All the songs were great.
Yeah.
I think I like side 2 a little bit better. I still like Snowblind a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think the last song, I might agree with you. I think the last song, Under the Sun, was probably the best song.
Oh yeah, it's my
Yeah.
favorite Sabbath song.
No, I think I'm still gonna go to bat for Supernaut.
That's a good one to pick too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. As far as a more cohesive side, I think despite effects being on that one, it's a little more cohesive. Because like I know like they put songs like Laguna Sunrise in their albums because they wanted to lighten it up before they got heavy again. I'm not sure if I would have put that one before Saint Vitus Dance if they wanted to get that effect. It probably would have made more sense before Under the Sun.
Yeah, that would have made more sense there too. Like it just kind of felt there. It felt tacked on. It was pretty.
Yeah,
but yeah,
'cause-
we'll get to that. Yeah,
Yeah, because like Saint Vitus Dance, it was mixing like standard rock and roll with doom, I think, and I think it would have felt more at place before Laguna Sunrise. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, yeah, all the songs were great, and I suppose we can go through those right now. Snowblind.
great riff. It was blatantly about coke, even without the super obvious coke. I'm Dr. Roxo. Cocaine.
Yeah, very tasty guitar work. I remembered this song, so it's still great. Still good song. Cocaine.
I like it that it was like the song you wrote for your previous band about meth, Sean, where it sped up as it kept going.
Yeah, I did that.
Well, you wrote a song to speed up, and your singer made it about meth. But
Yeah, that's true.
This one gradually sped up, and Under the Sun gradually sped down.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, obviously about Cocaine would have been a better title track if they'd named the album after it, but you know, record executive's gonna record executive.
Well, I'll just blame Patrick Meehy or whatever his name is.
Patrick Meehan, master producer.
Masturbator.
Yeah. There was, I liked all the solos in it too because they weren't always predictable. Like you didn't know exactly where they were going to go next, which was fun.
That's one thing that Iommi's pretty great at, I think, is writing some tasty fucking guitar solos.
Yeah. Well, his riffs are always so on point, you know. Well, I'm not saying always, but they're really great. So
What I really like about Iommi is he's like the master of writing the riff that you're like, oh, I could have done that. And then you're like, well, you didn't.
No,
'cause he
yeah.
did.
It seems so obvious in retrospect, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and like a bunch of people at the time were, he was kind of a pioneer at doing what he did, and all he did was basically simplify rock and roll and
Yeah.
give it out. And so, I guess it goes to show you that more can be less.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard the Mellotron make a little bit of a comeback during the solo at the end too, just like buried in the mix, but I definitely am 80% sure I heard it.
Yeah.
Cocaine. Less obvious than the cocaine
cornucopia.
of cocaine.
Cornucopia, the thing that disappeared from the Fruit of the Loom logo.
I liked how heavy this one was. The bass tone was really good.
Yeah, I was reading this is the one where the drummer thought he was going to get fired because he said he was fucking up and he was having a hard time. But after listening to it, because I hadn't heard it so long, yeah, it was the drums were all over the place. So he did good.
Yeah, it
I
changed
mean,
a lot.
for what? Yeah, because like it changed tempo, changed beats. Oh my god.
Yeah, it changed vibes like quite a few times through the course of the song. I could see why he would have had trouble with it.
And it's only like 3 fucking minutes long. It's like, it's got like 20 different sections for the drums, and it's 3
It's
minutes
a cornucopia.
long.
Yeah.
A cornucopia of shit. No, no it's actually,
Cornucopia of awesome.
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. It's a pretty good song. I like that one.
One of the stronger songs on the record, but I don't know where I would rank it.
Yeah. Next one, kind of a filler track, Laguna Sunrise. We talked about this one a little bit. Very pretty, though. Very good playing.
Yeah, just felt tacked on where they put it on the album. I think
Yeah.
they probably could have put it somewhere else, maybe. I don't know.
I said, this is a Zeppelin acoustic song. I kept expecting Stairway to Heaven to start, so because it sounded like the Mellotron came in and it had that Mellotron like Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have put this after changes instead of FX.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they could have left effects off completely, and then
Yeah, just made Under the Sun longer, maybe. Yeah.
What's funny though, here's one thing I think that could redeem effects is I'll bet you they just did it to see if the record company would pay them for it.
Yeah, okay, I could respect that if that was the case. But yeah.
I could see that because like I always said it was just a joke, and I know that they like the reason that they put like little subtitles at the end of each of their songs was to scam the record companies out of more money. So I could totally see them being like, let's put it on the album because the record executives either didn't listen to it or didn't like sit there and pay attention to it like when they were presenting it to them. So like they could probably get away with stuff like that. But yeah, Laguna Sunrise. I think their intention was to lead into to have a pretty moment that leads into a more heavy moment, but I don't think it being in front of Saint Vitus Dance was the right choice. I think it would have worked better before Under the Sun. But
Yeah, St. Vitus Dance felt like old school rock and roll into a doom song.
Yeah, it was very Jekyll and Hyde in a way. Like it was kind of a fun rocker, and then suddenly it gets depressing,
I mean, look
Yeah.
up
and then it
Saint
comes back
Vitus.
again. So
Who is Saint Vitus? Who is he the dancer?
Saint Vitus is another doom band that's probably named after this song.
Probably. It was a fun song. It was. I mean, it actually seemed more like an album filler than Laguna Sunrise, in my opinion.
Saint Vitus, patron saint of actors, comedians, dancers, and epileptics.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
And then finally, we'll wrap this up with my favorite Black Sabbath song, Under the Sun.
The great song.
Yeah,
It might have been my third favorite, though, because I did like changes quite a bit.
Just such a heavy ass opener. And then it calms down and it goes into like these crazy like jammy parts where the guitar and the drums are like trading back and forth, and the lyrics are just peak Geezer Butler. Like Geezer Butler's nihilism is just
Yeah.
so relatable on it. I mean, I feel that like all the time. Like I don't want a preacher telling me about the God in the sky, like that kind of stuff. It's
Yeah.
just I could tell where he was coming from on that as a very depressed 20-year-old that's been told what to do his entire life.
What's funny is like the album ends with like 2 religious songs though, like Saint Vitus, and then Under the Sun is a reference to "There's nothing new under the sun" from the Book of Ecclesiastes, which is a ancient Hebrew poet talking about how meaningless life is. And
Geezer talks about
Yeah.
in his autobiography about his faith, and I think they were all very Christian. At least Geezer and Tony and Bill were. I don't know about Ozzy.
yeah,
I think he was more Christian than he let on because like he but he fell into the role of like the Prince of Darkness thing. I think he just kind of lived it or like, just embraced the image.
Yeah. Well, and Dave, I think you mentioned it best in our first episode. I mean, Black Sabbath was more about beware of the devil than the devil's cool.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, like
yeah.
even like the song Black Sabbath is fucking creepy
Yeah.
as shit.
yeah, the character in that song is scared of Satan in that one.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then the song After Forever on Master Reality, I mean, it's just a straight up Christian rock song.
yeah,
Technically, if you analyze the lyrics. So,
yeah. But I like it when bands approach like topics of religion and faith with some level of complicated feelings about it, like neither completely for or against, just like make a reference to it and see if you can say something interesting about it that way, because there's nothing didactic about Black Sabbath either. It's not like they're preaching at you in any way whatsoever.
No, yeah. I've never got that vibe from them, and if I did, I probably wouldn't like them as much as I do. But it's very obvious that they're superstitious guys that believe in superstitious devil things. I mean, the reason they wore their crosses is because they thought that they had a curse put on them.
Yeah.
So they had their one of their dads like make them their crosses.
I think doing that much cocaine will give you some amount of paranoia too.
Yeah. I bet they've all talked to Jesus at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite Christian rock band is Faith Plus One.
Serious answer. My favorite Christian rock band is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds when it's leaning in that direction, and it usually isn't, but sometimes it is.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I really liked Red Right Hand, that song, and I bought the album because it's
Let
like
Love In, yeah.
Let Love In, and it was like, this is all Christian shit.
Yeah.
So like the song is creepy as fuck, but then the rest of the album's like Christian rock. It's weird.
It's like really creepy gothic Christian rock.
Yeah, it's like good job, Nick Cave.
Yeah. And then I think like his relationship with religion depends on where he is on kicking drugs and if anyone that matters to him has died recently. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this album I've listened to this. I haven't listened. It was kind of like revisit. It was almost fresh listening to Volume 4 again because it's been so long since I actually listened to it.
Yeah.
So I remembered it fondly, just hadn't listened to it. So revisiting was very nice. It was very good.
Yeah. It really holds up. I think it sounds less dated than some of their earlier stuff too, in part because I think this one kind of predicted where metal was going more than the first 3 albums did.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, there were still plenty of blues shuffle moments on this one, but overall they ramped up the prog songwriting. There are plenty of like heavy moments between the pretty moments that I think that they do so well, and it defined the era of Sabbath going forward up until I'd say Never Say Die, because I think Technical Ecstasy was still kind of in the prog territory, even if it wasn't as good as the 2 albums that preceded it. But yeah, I think this was the start of a great era of Black Sabbath that led into Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, which is also a fabulous album, and Sabotage, which was an album that was recorded under Duress, but I think artistically it turned out being like one of their heavier and better ones. I don't know, you can't go wrong with any of the first 6. But if you're really into like more progressive songwriting, then Volume 4 is probably where you'd want to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say I like Sabbath Bloody Sabbath better, but I think it's just my memory of listening to it as a kid, because I haven't listened to Sabbath Bloody Sabbath since I was a kid either. So
Well, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath doesn't have an effects on it, so
yeah. You know,
I mean, that's the
honestly, we've been giving effects shit, but the only reason we're giving it shit is because they actually named it. If they would have just had it as like not named and just put it as like a little in between interlude between the 2 songs, we probably wouldn't have given a fuck about it.
Yeah. It would have been like, oh, they're sure taking a while to start the next song. Oh, well.
if it was a troll on their record company and they had to name it to get paid for it, all right, I'll accept that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I guess they didn't get paid. It sounds like Patrick Meehan got fucking paid, and they had a Rolls Royce for a little while until it got repossessed. But oh well, they're rich now, so who cares?
Yeah.
And that's that. Like I said, Under the Sun's probably my favorite one. Then Supernaut. I think, Dave, you've already said yours. What about you, Sean? What was your favorite?
Under the Sun. I did say it, but it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Because at first I was like, I think the Wheel of Confusion, the first song, was like my favorite, and then Snowblind came on, and I'm like, okay, I remember Snowblind's great, but then Under the Sun, I think it finished strong, and yeah, that was probably my favorite on the album.
You can't go wrong with any of them unless you pick effects, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, we're all in the same band, the Alliterates. We got shit on shit.
Cocaine.
And listen to my single, Incompatibility. It's also on all the shit.
And I took a shit.
Yep. Dave hasn't taken a shit yet, but he will.
I'm taking a shit in that. I know I've made that joke many times, but the robot litter box is looking right at me.
And yeah, that's it. Check out our shit.
Catch you on the flip side.
Peace out. Mother.
St. Vitus can dance if he wants to. He can leave
bring
your
your
friends
friends
behind. Because St. Vitus don't dance, and if you don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
Did you ever see when Ozzy met Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so funny because he was just geeking out. Like,
I felt so bad for Ozzy because he wanted him to play bass on a track, and you could tell McCartney just didn't want to do it because he's like, oh, I don't know what I could do that would be better than what's already there by your bass player, which was his polite way of saying, I don't want to be on Ozzy's album.
Yeah.
Because Ozzy was like, I don't fucking care, just fucking do it anyway.
yeah.
I remember Paul McCartney played acoustic guitar on the last good Kanye song.
There was a good Kanye song?
There were a few.
I'm just kidding.
He's had a lot more misses than hits, even in the eras when he wasn't completely stupid. But yeah. He was always stupid, but before he became a Nazi. I don't think he's one anymore. Who knows? Who can say?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully he's found the help he needs. Side 1, Side B with Dave and Steve is a Floof Goof Studios production. You can find us on Instagram at KillRockMusicSWS and Dave_Diction. You can find us on Bluesky at KillRockMusic and Beastmaster General. Check out our musical projects, The Alliterates and Lucid Fugue, on all major streaming platforms, and links to each at my website, killrockmusic.com. That's KILRAVOCK music.com. This also includes my past projects, Megaton and Valley of Shadows, and my current solo project, Kill Rock. You can also find Dave's past project, Gong Farmer, at GONGFERMOUR.bandcamp.com. Thanks.
Everyone we worked with is dead.
Really rips.
Yeah.
I need to change my pants.
Check. Leonard Bernstein. I hate it so much I skipped the whole Destroyer.
Allow me to play you out.
Dirty Dave just pooped his pants.
Yes, indeed. Perfect hooker murdering song.
Kick out the jail, motherfucker!